Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the topic that is DNA as the genetic material. So as I discussed yesterday, so the molecular biology, so-called we call molecular biology. Molecular biology is nothing but that is deals with the DNA, genes, genome of the particular organism. So in previous there was a great controversy between the scientists about the genetic material of the living cell. So in that category, many scientists they are defended or they are given a lecture that proteins, some scientists could say that proteins may be genetic material, RNA can be genetic material, or DNA can be genetic material. So there was a huge discussion between them to find out which one is the genetic material for the living organisms. So in that particular scenario, this topic is very much interesting. So the topic is DNA as the genetic material. So we should understand that what is genetic material first. So the genetic material of a cell or an organism refers to those materials found in the nucleus, mitochondria and cytoplasm, right, which play a fundamental role in determining the structure and nature of these substances and capable of self propagating, that is nothing but self replication. And there is a change in this genetic material, definitely the change has been carried forward, right? This is what the basic idea of genetic material. Then if we want to call a certain compound, whether protein, whether RNA, whether DNA, if that particular thing is acting as a genetic material, definitely it should have the four characters. These four characters we call, first one, must carry the information. So must carry the information mean the genetic material should have the genes. So that can be cracking by the genetic code. So don't worry about genetic code, about genes. That anyway we are going in deeper and deeper in the coming chapters, that we will understand. So the genetic material should have the genes information. That is the first character. Second one, must self-replicate. This we call replication. We'll call self-replication. Then must allow for the information to change. This is called mutation. If there is a change, definitely the change has to be incorporated in the genes, and finally that is to be passing into the next generations. And the last important point is must govern the expression of the phenotype. This is very important. So expression of phenotype means it has to have the genes. The genes can be expressed in a form of phenotype. So these are all four different criteria that each and every genetic material should require. So if you see the concept which was there in earlier, where many scientists, as I explained, many scientists they have given that RNA as the genetic material. Some of the scientists they depended on DNA as a genetic material, and even some other scientists even they depend on protein as a genetic material. This was around a very old age of this science has been formulating. So in this scenario, we want to prove that it's not RNA, not protein, only the DNA is the genetic material. So this was proven by the three major experiments, right? So DNA as a genetic material, as you see here, the DNA as a genetic material, not RNA, not protein. This can be given strengthen, or this can be having experimental evidence. So there are three major experiments which proved that DNA as a genetic material, not RNA, even not protein. So the first one is Griffith transformation experiment. These three experiments are very important to understand, right? Anyway, each and everything I'll discuss in a very slow manner. So you try to concentrate on the experiment part. What is the basic principle which is associated with this experiment? First one is Griffith transformation experiment. Second one is RV, McLeod and McCarthy experiment. Third one is Hershey and Chase labeling experiment. Right? These three experiments which are very important, which proved that DNA as a genetic material. So oka cell lo genetic material anedi DNA ne untundi, RNA ala undadu leda protein undadu ani cheppadaniki these three theories have made a great contribution about identification of the genetic material, right? So today I am going to discuss about only first experiment, that is a Griffith transformation experiment. So the Griffith transformation experiment, which was done at 1928 by the Frederick Griffith. So this person is a bacteriologist. So the bacteriologist is working in the bacteria, right? The field of microbiologist, we call it as bacteriologist. He is trying to prepare a vaccine against pneumonia. What does it major experiment? Because his major experiment is to be to prepare a vaccine that is related with the or that can control pneumonia. So what do you mean by pneumonia? This is very important. Pneumonia is nothing but which is an infection to the lungs, maybe one or both the lungs, and during this pneumonia condition, the lungs will reduce its volume so that it cannot take sufficient amount of oxygen. This is same like symptoms with the nowadays what we are facing with that is coronavirus symptoms, right? This is pneumonia is nothing but which is related with the lung, right? Lung infection. So if you see his experiment, this is a very important thing. So if you understand very clearly, then you should better appreciate about this experiment. So he is working on two type of bacteria, two type of strains of Streptococcus pneumoniae. So we in short form we will write it as S. pneumoniae. S. pneumoniae is a bacteria that can having the two different forms. So these two different forms, this is only one form will cause the pneumonia, not other form. It's clear? So you can see here both strains grow very well in a culture plates in a Griffith lab, its own lab, but only one of the strain causes pneumonia. So this pneumonia bacteria should have the two strains. Among two strain, only one strain will cause the pneumonia. The disease causing bacteria, ఏదైతే బ్యాక్టీరియా ఈ న్యూమోనియాకు కాజింగ్కు కారణం అవుతుందో, that particular bacteria we will call it as S strain, right? S stands for which can grow into smooth colonies on the culture plate. You can see in the image the smooth colonies. So smooth colonies mean nothing but where there is a special kind of layer that can be present in this particular S strain. Whereas one more strain that we will call it as R strain, right? So R strain is nothing but which is an harmless bacteria. So if you infect with the R strain, definitely that will not caused by the pneumonia. It's clear? So the R strain will make a colonies that is rough colonies. It's clear. So now you understand that there are two type of strains of this S pneumonia. One strain we will call it as S strain. Second strain we will call it as R strain. S strain is an pathogenic bacteria that can cause pneumonia. R strain is not a pathogenic, which will not cause the pneumonia condition. That's clear. So now you can understand the concept, what exactly is that Griffith has done this experiment. This is very important. So this you should understand. So now we can understand is experiment. This is very important. So this is the first condition. We will see, we will go by condition by condition. This is important. So you can see here. First, he has infected with the S strain. This is important. You can see here. The living S strain, he has infected. This is in colonies, right? These colonies, he has taken this strain and he has infected with the mice, or he has injected with the mice. You can see here. This is called injection. So what is that results? After 14 to 21 days, the mice has got the pneumonia and the lungs were spoiled, and finally the mouse dies. It's clear? If you inject with the live S strain, so that cause the pneumonia of this particular mouse, and finally the mouse dies. This is the first condition. And if you see the second condition, this second condition is he has taken the living R cell. So R mean, as I explained, that there are two strains, S strain and R strain. So he has taken the R strain and he has infected with this strain to the mouse. Then interestingly, you know that there is nothing has happened to the mouse, so which is healthy. As we discussed that definitely the S strain is the one which will cause the pneumonia, but not R strain. That can proved by this A and B, right? Now you see the third criteria, that is called C. Here he taken S strain and that is heated up to 90 degrees, and that heating is killed by this S strain. So whatever at the 95 degrees you are eating, that heating will cause this S strain to destroy. So this particular culture is taken and which is infected with the mouse. So what is happened? What was happened? The same way the mouse was healthy. There is no pneumonia developed in a mouse. Why? Because is there any difference between A and C? Definitely there is a difference, because in A we directly taken live cells, but in B we are taking heat kill cells. So heat kill cells mean where the bacteria dies. So definitely if you inject this die bacteria, that will not to be going to make any kind of pneumonia in the mouse. It's clear? Then if you take the next criteria, that is the fourth criteria. The fourth criteria will be, you can see. So eat killed S cells, this is combination. So he has taken eat killed S cells, that is nothing but the C, as well as mixed with the living R cell. This D condition is nothing but these two conditions, B and C condition. B and C condition he has taken for the D condition. So here what is happening? So heat killed S cells he has taken, that is mixed with the living R cells. And this was taken and this was grown in a petri dish and that was injected into the mouse. And here interestingly the mouse got pneumonia and finally this mouse dies, right? Which is important to understand. Initially in a bee, you can see in a bee, this bee, what is happening if you infect with a live R cell, mouse is healthy. If you see the heat killed S cell, even mouse is healthy. But if you mix these two, B and C, the mouse dies. Is it clear? Yes. Then the last condition is living a cell in a blood sample from the dead mouse. So now the E is nothing but which is taken from the A. So this was isolated from the mouse, right? And this is infected with the again new mouse. The blood is collected from the died mouse in the A scenario, and which is infected with the again healthy mouse. The healthy mouse also got infected with the pneumonia, and finally it died, right? So here the important thing we should understand about D. So individually, no R strain or no heat killed A strain will not cause pneumonia, but when you mix these two, definitely it is causing pneumonia. So what does it mean? So we will see here the conclusion part. The conclusion part is definitely the Griffith reasoned that some chemical factor, right? There is some factor that can transformed from the heat killed S strain to the living R strain. So there is a factor, even he don't know what kind of that particular factor is. So he has given a statement that there is some chemical factor that is transferred from heat kill S strain to the living R strain. So the factor converting from S to R strain will making R strain to be pathogenic. So will convert it into the S strain so that the particular mouse got pneumonia and it dies. And he called this process is transformation. Transformation means there is nothing but there is a chemical compound that is transforming from heat killed to the live R cell. Because of one type of bacteria had been changed permanently into another. This is important because R strain is non-pathogenic, but after conversion, which is pathogenic. It's clear? And the final one is, you can see, because the ability to cause disease was inherited by the offsprings of the transformed bacteria. So finally, the Griffith concluded that the transforming factor is maybe the gene. He has not 100% given a conclusion that it might be the gene. So he formulated it may be the gene that finally transformed from the heat killed S strain to the living R strain. So the living R strain is converted into the pathogenic like S strain. So that can cause the pneumonia, and finally it killed the pneumonia. It killed the mouse. That is the case we explained in the D. Right? It's clear. So this is one of the landmark experiment which proved that there is a factor which can be transforming between the same organisms or same bacteria. So this is an initial experiment which was proved that the transformation is possible. So the transformation has been, could be maybe the gene, but he has not clearly given it might be the gene, it may be the gene. Then after this, there are one more experiment. This is the first experiment which has given this information, and the second experiments, Harvey McCarthy experiment. They have taken initiation of this experiment and they proved that this is not this is only the DNA, not the RNA or protein. That particular experiment I will explain in the coming class. Right? So this is all related with the Griffith experiment.